Re-uploads to hold you for the day. You're tuned into Throwback Re-uploads with Ty's Life.
Hi YouTube, it's Tyre Knight. You tuned to Ty's Life. We're about to be talking about the Magic Johnson and Larry Bird comparison. I've watched Larry Bird on my channel for a while. I took a break actually. It's been about 9 months, which is crazy. I went through a lot in my life, got married, had a new job, and now I have more time in my hands. Now I have more time in my hands. I can get this content going. But first off, I'm gonna tell you to like, comment, and subscribe to Ty's Life, and also like, comment, subscribe to Ty and Bree's Life. That's me and my wife's channel. If you guys want to see my actual life, and what goes on with like honeymoons, trips, vacations, all of that. If there's anything that's going on in my life, if you care, you can go on over to that channel. But first off, we're going to talk about Magic Johnson versus Larry Bird. Honestly, I struggle with trying to figure out who was better, because if you think about it, minus the shooting, if you think about it, their games are very similar. They're pass first forwards, so they both can really pass the ball. Larry is an all-time passer. He's underrated for his passing, because before I even watched any of his highlights, well, I watched his highlights when I was younger, but I didn't really like go into detail and try to figure out like what type of player he is. Always knew he was a shooter. I always knew he just was a great scorer, but up until like my teenage years, I didn't know how good he was as a passer until I saw the documentary with Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. So Magic Johnson said the first experience he had with Larry Bird was when he threw him a no-look pass. It was like, you know that meme, you know that meme. So yeah, that's like the first time I knew that Larry Bird could pass the ball. He could facilitate, like he could throw that rock. He has that vision. He has the vision on deck. So when I heard that, I'm like, oh. And when I saw highlights that and games to prove it, like the proof is in the pudding. You just have to watch him. He's one of the best players of all time, second to LeBron when it comes to small forwards. So when it comes to Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, it's not just an easy, this person's better or this person's better. These are solid players. These guys changed the game, both of them at the same time. Both of them, we never had players at the same time like change the game the way Magic Johnson and Larry Bird did. So I want to ask you guys in the comments, who do you feel like is better? Honestly, like sometimes I'm leaning towards Larry Bird, and then I see some footage from Magic Johnson. I see some games from Magic Johnson. The thing that I used to do when I was younger, I used to watch was Hardwood Classics. So when I was watching Hardwood Classics, I would see Magic Johnson change the game. Like he would just take over a game. Not even with his scoring, with his passing, his rebounding, all around. He's one of the best all-around players. But Larry Bird is one of the best all-around players too. Like both of them are all-around players. It's just the one thing that Larry Bird has over Magic Johnson is the shooting. Like, to be honest, the shooting. And scoring. I think he is a better scorer. So as far as defense, I would say Magic Johnson. So we can go down the whole list. We're gonna go to shooting. Obviously, Larry Bird. Passing. This one is very debatable. Very debatable. You can go down the long line of assists. Let me search up their assists. So Magic Johnson's career average for assists is 11 assists. So I am 100% sure that Larry Bird's assist average is not as high as that. So as far as assists, Magic Johnson has that. He is pass first, but he will get a bucket. He's gonna go and get a bucket. Magic Johnson is like really fast pass first. He's gonna look to pass the ball more times than Larry Bird would. And Larry Bird can really score the ball. He averaged a good 24 points a game for his whole career. Magic Johnson 19.5. You can tell he was still a scorer, but most of his attention and most of his time was on the court, was looking to find somebody to score. So like you can tell it was his stats are evened out, like 19.5 points a game, and then 7 rebounds a game, and then 11 assists, 52% from the field goal. His free throws are amazing too, 84.8% for free throw shooting. So you can tell these guys are very efficient. They're very all-around players. So it's really, when you get to that point, it's really hard to determine who's better, because they're both all around. It's just like their mentality is different with certain things. Larry Bird's mentality is a killer mentality. Magic Johnson is more, I'm gonna pass it off, and when it's time to get busy, when it's time to score, I can take over a game type of thing. But it's gonna be like showtime. It's gonna be showtime. Like you're gonna see him go on fast breaks, throw no look passes. You're gonna see him fake passes and make the layup. You're gonna see him get a lot of rebounds. You're gonna see him push the tempo. You're gonna see him push the ball. So he's really the initiator in the game, and with everything as far as rebounds, like to start a possession, you get a rebound, like you get a defensive rebound. Magic Johnson does that. He's gonna push the ball up the court. He's gonna go and look for who's open at first, and if there's nobody open, he's gonna get the bucket. Like that type of thing. That's his mindset. And then when you have Larry Bird, he's gonna look for the pass. If there's no one there, it's time to get a bucket. It's time to get busy. He can shoot the three. He can hit the mid range. He can drive to the basket. He's a 3-level scorer. Magic Johnson, not so much. He could shoot the three, but he wasn't necessarily a solid 3-level scorer. Like he's not gonna go for the three most of the time. He can hit it from time to time, but he's not gonna look for it. He would rather find somebody else to shoot the three. So with that being said, who is better? Honestly, I can't really say, because as I said before, I was leaning towards Larry Bird, leaning toward Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson has more rings. Larry Bird has 3. Magic Johnson has 5. Magic Johnson has 5. Larry Bird has 3. So you could say his way of winning worked more, like his way of playing worked in his favor more than Larry Bird. But Larry Bird also had injuries, so he didn't play as much. But then again, Magic Johnson had something that set him back, as he got as he contracted that virus. So you could say both ways. Like you can't. It's hard because they both did a lot in their years of playing, and they both didn't play that long. They did play long, but they could have played longer because injuries and what Magic Johnson had to deal with in his career. So yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know in the comments. I'm probably gonna do more reaction videos to Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. Let me know if there's other players you want me to react to. I'm gonna do more videos like this. Let me know what you want me to talk about. But maybe one day we'll do a live, and while I talk, you guys will answer. Let me know if you guys want that. Yeah, but from my opinion, I honestly feel like to start a team, you would look for Magic Johnson. But it's like, who has the killer mentality? It's like, oh, it's hard. It's really hard. I don't know myself. Sorry, I can't really give you an answer because sometimes I lean towards Larry Bird. Sometimes I lean towards Magic Johnson. I honestly like Larry Bird's game better. So, I'm just gonna say I'm going with Larry Bird. But as you know, it's really hard for me. It's not that easy. It's not an easy conversation to have, to be honest, because Larry Bird is a beast, and we already know what Magic Johnson can do to impact the game. So they impact the game the same way. They have the same way of playing, but two different ways of playing at the same time, if you know what I mean. So they're all around players. They're all around great players. They've changed the game. Yeah. But like, comment, subscribe, share. If you want more videos like this, let me know. Stay blessed, stay lit. I'm out.
God, protect these people's soul. I pray that life won't take a toll. I hope the love of God will fulfill their soul and will always keep people in their goals. The truth has been told in the good book, which is worth more than gold. I pray they'll find somebody to grow old with. Love without Christ a myth. I pray you bless the viewers from the crown of their heads to the soles of their feet. Remind them to submit to you, resist the devil, and he will flee. In Jesus' name, amen.
Now stay tuned for your daily devotion.
So Joshua reminds the people of all the things that God has done. And when it gets down to 13, he really makes it plain. He said, look, right now you eating off stuff that you didn't plant. It's in the text. Right now you're living in places and cities that you didn't even build. Joshua says, I just have to ask you all a question. If God has done so much for you, if God has brought you through dangers seen and unseen, if God has made your crooked places straight and your rough places smooth, why come you can't serve him like you should? Why is it that God has to remind you who he is? Why is it that you have to be reminded to trust in him? Why is it that every time the wind blows you are fearful when God has been protecting you all of this time? Why is it that you don't serve him with the zeal and the love that you once served him with?